just like that, you're back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso on S3, and now this morning we have been delving into the topic about relationships and also dating in the year 2025. Now, from the pressures to the various ways in which we can date these days, how do we approach it? It is the age-old question, and we've been in conversation with Daniela Mayer, who is a family therapist as well as a divorce mediator and parenting coordinator, as well as our content creators and married couple who are in the building, Amber and Nick Wright. Now, we've also put the question out on social media, but before we delve into what you had to say, I have to just ask, the question begs, Daniela, how did you meet your partner? Because honestly, you seem like the perfect individual.
Wow, that's really nice to say. I think you should tell everyone I know that.
I will.
So that's actually, it's an interesting one because we're now also talking about social media and dating apps and all of that. And I wasn't really buying it so much, but I was sitting at home alone one night and my phone beeped. And it was a Facebook message from somebody who says to me, "Hello, Daniela," except instead of Daniela, he completely messed up my name and wrote Denalia.
Oh, no.
And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so blind. The first thing I say to you is the wrong name."
Goodness, what an
And
intro.
that in itself was the reason why I responded to that message, because I wasn't into it at all. I was like, no, but it was just, he just caught me at the exact right moment where I just could not stop laughing. And we started chatting on Facebook, and that is actually how we met. And now, I don't know, about 5 years later, let's say, we've got a almost 3-year-old little girl together. So sometimes also making a mistake and saying the wrong name is the ticket.
Okay, perfect imperfection. I absolutely love that. I'm also a digital love type of girl, because why count it out, right? And of course, earlier on we saw in our movie that maybe if you kind of just, I won't say kill, but like knock somebody a little bit while you're driving, that could be the love of your life on the floor. I don't know. JP, we're still trying to decide if this is the way to go for him in particular. But we asked the question to you on social media, so let's have a look at some of your comments. All right, we have Patricia Grubelaar up first, who says, "I met my husband in primary school and we attended high school together, and then we worked at the same police station for 2 years, and now we're married 14 years later. We're still going and we still love each other like we met yesterday." Isn't that so beautiful? 14 years. I mean, you guys are on 13 now.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it take to get to this point? Hey?
It takes constant work. I think that's the thing. You can't ever just wake up one day and be like, I'm not going to invest in my marriage. I'm not going to make any effort today, because that's where cracks start to show, and that's where I believe marriages and relationships break down. You've got to every day choose your partner, and you've got to wake up and say, I'm going to give this person who I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with everything that I have. And some days he'll have more to give me, and other days I'll have more to give him.
Yeah. And that's okay, as long as that understanding is there and communication.
Exactly.
I mean, Daniela, we can scream this from the rooftops, can't we? Well, let's see what else you had to say on our social media streets. We got another one from Rosalind Moodley, who says, "Well, I was going to my ex-boyfriend's house and this man was admiring me. Next thing I know, we married for 25 years and have a daughter who's also 25 years old." I mean, sometimes your ex is just in the way of your next relationship. You know what I mean? Just move out the way. Let's keep on going. I love this story. I also heard some spice that you guys were talking about. Also a barrier to progress there.
Yes, which actually played in my favor, because I ignored Amber for 3 months and she was not used to that, obviously.
Hard to
and
get.
so all of a sudden I had game out of nowhere, so that worked.
Although I do have to say, speaking social media, back in the day it was the BBM days. That's how long we've been together.
What a
Just to
throwback.
give all the Gen Z's like a mind blow. And once he now was single and he was now going to pursue me, he every single day for about 2 months would message me at 12 o'clock, midday. "Hi, Ams," smiley face. Every day. And I thought it was just the cutest thing ever.
It's the consistency.
Exactly.
I thought I was being really smooth by waiting till lunchtime. I didn't realize I was messaging her every day on the dot.
Now she's expecting that message
Exactly.
every day. You've got more game than you think. Let me tell you that much. Well, speaking about texting, let's see what else you had to say on our social media streets. We have one more from Russian Hendricks, who said, "I met my fiance over TikTok, which I think is very modern, but I'm yet to meet someone else with the same love story." I mean, TikTok's a really interesting one, because again, are we sliding into DMs? Are we commenting? Are we resharing, reposting? How exactly does that work? Do you
I
know?
mean, I would imagine that it would be a DM, really,
Yeah.
or maybe a bit of a stalk. Like if somebody's like
Yeah.
liking every single thing you put up just as you put it up. It's
Yeah.
kind
Right,
of
to
like,
get your attention.
but I think it's quite risky though as well, because I mean, what I've noticed also is like, just if you DM somebody, it doesn't mean they even see your message. I didn't even realize this because I was going through my TikTok, my professional account, and I saw a message from like 6 months ago that I didn't respond to. So if anybody is trying to pursue somebody on TikTok or on Facebook and they haven't responded, it's possible that it's been archived. Do not
I
give up.
love this. Or in the other inbox,
Yeah.
that also happens.
Exactly.
Can I ask you guys a question quickly? We live in a digital era, but I wonder if you use any like old school ways of showing love, like letters. Have you ever written each other a love letter?
So this guy is actually a poet. He likes to write, well, he likes to write poetry. So every now and then, and love notes actually. Sometimes I'll wake up, if he's like gone to gym, I'll wake up and my coffee will be there next to a little love note.
Wow.
And it'll be random times, and it'll, like, that is what fills my cup.
Yeah.
And then every now and then, you actually have this book of poems that every now and then he'll write me a poem.
Wow.
He's way better with words than I am. So I haven't written you a note in a long time, but you know what we do as a family, actually, this is how I grew up, was writing birthday and Christmas cards. So it's not just like the to mum from
Yes,
Amber.
right.
You know, we write extensive cards. So our anniversary, Valentine's Day, birthdays and Christmas, we always write each other like a long card, and those are really special.
And there's something to that. When you sit down to write something, there's things that come up there that don't come up in a text message.
Yes.
So it's very powerful.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
beautiful.
you guys have me right there. I'm in love with the both of you. Stop it. That is so beautiful. Well, if you worked up an appetite, which you might have, I want to send you all off to go and cook in the kitchen as we get through one more comment on our social media. Let's have a look at what you had to say. So Sarah Morrison says, I met my husband at a dingy bar in Durban at 18, 19 years old. Now I'm 36. We've got 2 children and it was still going strong. Who would have thought meeting at a bar where he drank my drink was the start of my fairy tale and also my love story? That's cute. So maybe a dingy bar is where people need to be looking. Would you recommend this?
What
Yes
I
or no?
think the message in this message is that it really does not matter where you're meeting someone. And I am a huge fan and a huge believer of what's meant to be will be. And I really do, with every single fiber of my being, believe that when that person and you are supposed to meet and be aligned, it will happen. It doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
So be in the bar, be in the supermarket, be in your kitchen.
Right.
I met my ex-husband in my kitchen. He came to drop my cousin off at my house. There was no chance. If I had been out, I would never have met him.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to look for the right place to be. Just
Sure.
be the right person, and that person will come to you wherever you are.
Mic drop. Don't worry about the right place. Just be the right person to yourself so that you can reflect and project that out into the world. Daniela, thank you always
Thank you
for coming
so much.
through with
So
the
great to be
golden
here.
nuggets. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if you've worked up an appetite, but I sure have. We got to make our way back into the kitchen to see what our wonderful couple has for us.